I'm about to be hypnotized for the first time ever.
Bring your attention to your eyelids and see if you can make your eyelids
to get over my fear of heights.
And 5. Then open your eyes. Return back to the world out here.
I'm standing outside the Morpheus Clinic for hypnosis right now, and I'm about to meet Luke. Luke has been hypnotizing people for over 10 years to get over anxiety, to be more confident, and to get over their fears.
You're just going to say your name, your credentials, how long you've been doing this, and then we'll go into the first question.
I'm Luke Chow. I became a consulting hypnotist here at the Morpheus Clinic for hypnosis shortly after graduating with a degree in English literature from the University of Toronto. I've been doing this for 19 years.
So in the most simplest terms, what is hypnosis?
In the simplest terms, hypnosis is a state of mind that people enter when they're listening very ardently to the hypnotist speaking with intent, ideas that are supposed to, well, in my case, help them, or on a stage to entertain the audience. You see this ability for people to suspend disbelief and accept a whole new idea. All right, so this is going to be kind of like a prototype of an actual session where for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to give you some verbal suggestions. And we're going to see to what degree these verbal suggestions affect you. If you're ready to begin.
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm going to have you put both your hands out in front like this. My right thumb is pointing up, my left palm is turning up. Perfect. I'm going to have you close your eyes, get comfortable, and imagine you're on a comfortable beach with sand, waves, and sky. As you imagine this beach, imagine I'm scooping up a great big bucket of wet sand and placing that bucket in your left palm. That's right, just use the power of your imagination to imagine that big heavy bucket in your left hand. Now the hand's going to start growing heavier and more tired. Don't help it, don't hinder it, just notice the weight of the bucket pressing down at the hand, down at the arm, down at the shoulder. That's right. As you imagine the weightiness of that bucket, imagine I'm tying a bundle of helium balloons around your right thumb. And your right thumb, your hand, and your arm all begin to feel lighter and lighter and lighter. That's right. Those balloons are tugging up at the thumb, up at the hand, up at the arm. And as you feel the lightness in your right hand and the heaviness in your left, now notice the contrast, where the left hand feels even heavier and heavier and heavier because of the contrast with your right hand. And then your right hand feels even lighter and lighter and lighter. Then open your eyes, you can see the difference, and you can let your hands relax. Okay, so if you didn't fake it, you were successfully using your mind-body connection, where only mental imagery was physically affecting your actual body. Last time we spoke, we talked about your fear of heights.
Yeah.
And my understanding is that it began when your dad's fear on a amusement park ride kind of became your fear. And he was just trying to prevent you from slipping out of the restraints. And I suggested that, well, maybe he was being, in those moments, overly protective, and that you weren't actually in danger. What kinds of situations place you up high? So how can we test in the next week?
Probably a ladder, or sometimes I have to get up on my roof the roof of my house to tweak the satellite.
So from here, you can close your eyes whenever you're ready. Take a deep breath in when you can and breathe out. Perfect. This breathing keeps you alive, safe, steady, and secure. It's no longer your dad who's responsible for the safety and security of your body. It's you, Peter, who's responsible for the safety and the security of your body. So where you assess, you are in truth free. And to achieve that carefree feelings, instead of this, you arrive at relaxed feelings instead. Are staying on the right side of the railing. The railing is safe. Then feel a huge wave of energy start from the very bottoms of your feet and go all the way up to the very top of your head, making you feel refreshed and energized, making you feel clearer in every way, knowing you've made some changes in perspective here, and those happen instantaneously to return fully back to this room out here. How do you feel?
I feel pretty relaxed.
Yeah, if you don't have any questions, it's 1:30.
Really?
Yeah. One characteristic of hypnosis is called time distortion. So
Holy
time is going to feel like it flies by when you're actually hypnotized. So that's a really good sign. I mean, typically people do 3 to 5 of these sessions.
Yeah. Okay. I feel really good.
Cool.
I feel like confident, like I could give a lecture to people or something. Like I feel like, I'm not even kidding. I feel like I have power. Like I could do something.
Good.
So I'll try the ladder as soon as I get home.
Awesome.
I want to make sure everybody understands. I am terrified of heights, like legitimately terrified. Once I get up to this, the 4th step on a ladder, that's when I start to shake and I start to get, scared and nervous. In your eyes, this might seem like so silly, Well, dude, it's just 4 steps. I'm telling you, I'm genuinely serious. Like, it scares me. So part of my homework is to climb and see if I can get a little higher than 4 and potentially even higher than that. 3.
So you mentioned to me it only takes 3 to 5 sessions for the average person to be completely hypnotized and actually change. How is that possible?
So part of the reason we believe that change necessarily is going to take a very long time is because the dominant mental health model of psychotherapy or medicine, they're not giving people solutions like a hypnotherapist tries to give their clients solutions.
I have good footing.
So if someone tried to teach you how to do literally a 3-point turn by sitting quietly while you talk about how you feel about being unable to do a 3-point turn, it would take you weekly sessions for years before you figure it out.
I have good footing.
But if the instructor says, all right, forget everything you've seen from the passenger seat, here's how to do it in the driver's seat.
I have good footing.
Right, turn the wheel like this, shift the car like this, go backwards until you see this. If they give clear instruction, a few iterations of that is all a person needs to successfully do a 3-point turn. Once they start doing it successfully, they do it over and over again, and then they don't need the instructor.
5. Okay, I'm on the 5th rung. I'm not gonna stand up straight, but I'm on the 5th one. I have good footing. This is what an ideal person would think.
Once they do that a few times, they don't need me. This to me is how mental health should be.
This is good. I feel good here. I still can't straighten out, but we'll get there.
We are actually teaching people how to think ideally. Then it's not odd to think in 3 to 5 visits.
So how does hypnosis work?
So shall we begin?
Begin, yeah, I'm ready.
All right, so Peter, explain like you're 5. Here's how hypnosis works. At the end of every stint up and then down a ladder, life goes on. That's the prediction to make. You know how when you have a really good teacher and then you sit at their feet and they teach well. First experience showed you that you can relax through your mind-body connection, and then you listen well because you care what they have to say. Their ideas get inside your head. It's not through magic. It's through their understanding of the ideas and their communication of the ideas and you listening to those ideas. That's how good ideas get into a 5-year-old's head or a 10-year-old's head. 5, as it all sinks in, then open your eyes and return fully back to this room out here. The difference is children don't have a very well-developed critical mind. So you don't really get as much of that argumentativeness. But in adulthood, we kind of learn to, well, think for ourselves. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. Pretty good.
Hypnotherapy is just this really unusual situation where you've hired someone to think on your behalf and to communicate that thinking to them. And that's where you do want your critical mind to go offline as much as possible. That's where you want to be like the kid sitting at the feet of your favorite storyteller to absorb what they have to say.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming in again, and we'll schedule another visit, and yeah, we'll see how many more you need.
I'm confident that I think you're right. I think the third one, we might be able to wrap it up. I think
Cool.
So. Okay, you can see those boxes up there, right? If I can get one of those boxes down, I think I'll be okay. That's my goal, is to get one of those boxes down. And then I think, is it dangerous to be hypnotized?
No. Where risks, I think, should be spoken about is that when someone's hypnotized, they're in a more highly suggestible state of mind. When, during hypnosis, you're a little bit more like the kid, and you aren't thinking as critically, and you've kind of put your thoughts and feelings in the hands of the hypnotist who's speaking to you. If the hypnotist is not thinking on your behalf, if they are suggesting, honestly, bad ideas to you, your normal critical defenses would not be online to question and reject those bad ideas.
Here we go. This is attempt number 3, where I get a box off the top shelf.
Maybe later you'll think about the session and you'll think, wait a minute, he actually said that to me?
So let's see, this one. So we're gonna take this down slowly. It's not that heavy. Here we go. Okay. Not bad. Little trembling. Little trembling, but not bad. Not bad. So you just said that the thoughts of the hypnotherapist could transfer on to the patient. Could the hypnotherapist then hypnotize the patient to act in a bad way, to steal, or to commit a crime, or to do bad things? I noticed that my feet feel a lot more like solid. The only issue is now is my knees. My knees start to shake. My feet, fine though.
There was a case that was in the news media a few years ago, I believe in Italy or somewhere else in the EU, where it was claimed that a cashier was hypnotized into giving over cash. And there was CCTV footage of this. I think a more plausible explanation is the cashier and the thief, the robber, were in cahoots, and then hypnosis just kind of like took the blame. I can't just simply tell someone to rob a store, just like I can't simply tell someone to be happy, or be relaxed, or stop smoking. It gets extremely complicated.
We did it. The be-all, end-goal, obviously, I didn't tell Luke, but was to go to an amusement park, ride a roller coaster. And that I am deathly terrified. Like, I can't even explain it to you.
All right, Peter, you're back.
Yes, sir. Third one.
So I understand that you have successfully climbed a ladder a few times. You've successfully put boxes up and have taken some down. And that means today's session can be your graduation.
Awesome.
As always, I'm going to have you lean back, close your eyes, take a deep breath in when you can, fill your lungs up. Whenever your lungs are full up, then breathe out.
And last question.
Perfect.
In all of your years of hypnosis and studying this topic and hypnotizing thousands of people, how powerful is the mind exactly?
Way more powerful than we give it credit for. And I'll give you a few examples. I'd describe you accurately. I'd describe your capabilities accurately. I've had clients who were using sleeping pills to fall asleep at night, when what they actually needed was some moral clarity. The pills are not going to give them moral clarity. They just need a bit of philosophy, a little bit of encouragement. Now, we're going to go through that process of intentional relaxation again. Perspective, and then they have moral clarity. And once they gain moral clarity, they're sleeping better at night. So why the heck were they treating their insomnia as a medical problem? Quitting smoking, it's not actually this difficult thing that you've never done before. From head to toe, your body listens. It's actually a return to normalcy. We're all born as non-smokers. We all take our breaks as non-smokers as children. None of us is born wanting a cigarette. We're all born disgusted by the smell of smoke. Inspiring, reassuring, strengthening signals that are appropriate. But if you see quitting smoking as a return to normalcy, then it's like you have a second childhood. But all the things that we teach children are supposed to be kept for a lifetime. 4, then feel a huge wave of energies. You're supposed to keep all of this for the rest of your life. As it all sinks in, then open your eyes to return fully back to the room out here. How do you feel? I don't know if I forgot the question you asked. Okay.
Okay, so we're actually gonna finally put this to the test now. I've been getting hypnotized for a month to get over my fear of heights. Behind me is a ride I would never, ever even attempt to do in my life. So, if there's something you could say to the whole world about hypnosis, what would you say?
At this point in the 21st century, hypnosis is still seen as an odd thing. So if there's one thing I want the world to know, is that a lot of what you think about hypnosis is prejudice. It is. That's the word I'm going to use. It doesn't come from actual knowledge of what someone like me actually does. So I'm grateful to Peter for making this film. It comes from Hollywood. It comes from when people use hypnosis for entertainment on stage at a high school. If you look a little deeper, you're going to find that all I'm asking you to believe is that you can accept new ideas by listening carefully to these new ideas. And that's all I'm asking you to believe.
That was like one of your biggest fears. Let's see your hands, really shaky.
Well, even my hands shaking.
Like, I'm not even exaggerating.
Look at this. Look at it.
I know there are issues where listening carefully to new ideas are not going to solve the problem. But there are so many problems where listening carefully to new ideas will solve the problem.
So much.
Thank you.